Good morning on this beautiful Tuesday in Boston. What a whirlwind of a week it's been, full of blessings and joy. This weekend I spent Shabbat with my parents and all of their children and grandchildren, celebrating the bar mitzvah of my nephew. And then on Sunday we came back and I drove to New York as our eldest son, second eldest child, Levi, became a rabbi, was ordained as a rabbi after studying for so many years and having a full year this year focusing specifically on what it entails to be a rabbi through the laws and ideas that we need to become rabbis. And I was able to witness that moment. And then on Monday we came back and we began camp. And this, I think, is our 18th season running a camp, which nearly 300 kids throughout the summer, nurturing them with love and faith and a passion for Judaism and for the people of Israel. And it was a surreal week, especially watching our son Levi become a rabbi. And it's special because as Jews, we live to continue the link in the chain that goes back thousands of years to Moses at Sinai, and even before to Abraham, when God told Abraham, Lech lecha, go for yourself. And as parents, especially as Jewish parents, we want to nurture and inspire our children to be proud, good Jews, and to continue that mission through the passion that they have. And when your child chooses to become a rabbi and to follow in these footsteps, it's a special moment, and it reminds you of all the things that are dear and valuable to you as a Jew. And it's interesting because this week's Torah portion is the portion of Shelach. Shelach is the story of the spies. It's a remarkable story which we'll speak about throughout this week, when the greatest leaders of the greatest generation that witnessed the splitting of the sea and the giving of the Torah at Sinai, and got to learn from Moses himself, who taught them the Torah, failed miserably by going to be spies of God to decide what's the best way to conquer the land of Israel. And instead of figuring out the way to do it, they come back and they say, we can't do it. And we'll have a lot of time to speak about what they were thinking and how this could happen and how do we prevent this from happening again. But there's something else remarkable. In the first verse, God says to Moses, Shlach lecha anoshim, send for yourself people who will check the land out and figure out the way to go there. And the rabbis and the commentaries immediately ask, and Rashi does, what does it mean to say, Shlach lecha anoshim, send for yourself people? The word lecha is superfluous. It should have just said Shlach anoshim, send people. Why does that have to say send for yourself? And Rashi says one word, lida'atcha. God tells Moses, it's up to you. You decide, do you want to send them? Do you not want to send them? Do you not want to send them? And the question, of course, is, from the moment God chose Moses as the leader to take the Jewish people out of Egypt, every step and every direction came from God. Back in Egypt, when to go to Pharaoh, how to go to Pharaoh, what to tell the Jews to do, how they should leave, when they should leave, the splitting of the sea, every single detail. Even last week in the Torah portion, we read about the clouds of glory that literally hovered over the Jewish people, and that the Jewish people would only travel when the clouds traveled. And if the clouds didn't travel, they wouldn't travel. So everything was dependent on direction of God. And suddenly when Moses asked this critical question, should we go and send spies to survey the land before we go in to conquer it? God says, Shlach lecha, l'da'atcha, it's up to you. Why? What was the message here? And the Hasidic masters and the Rabbi elaborates on this, say like this. You see, in life, there's the beginning stages and the later stages. In the beginning of a relationship, if you get married or if you get a job, someone has to tell you what to do at every step of the way. Go here, do this, get up here, go here, finish this time, etc., etc. But in a true relationship, and in a great people, at a certain point, you're able to know and think critically and be able to come to the right decisions on your own. Imagine if you're married to the same woman for 20 years, and for 20 years, every night she has to tell you to take out the garbage. What would that mean? If you know that she wants you to take out the garbage, if you know that it's meaningful for her, why would she have to tell you? You should know yourself what's important and valuable to her. And the same is vice versa with a wife. If you know there's something that your husband likes, something specific for dinner or something specific that you could help him with, and he has to tell you that for 20 years, that's a relationship. He'll tell you and you'll do it. But what kind of relationship is that? What God was beckoning Moses was, listen, the Jews have gone to Egypt. They've gotten the 10 Commandments. It's already a year past. Since I made you as the leader of the Jewish people, I've been telling you what and where and how exactly to do. But I trust and have faith that you could think critically and know to do the right thing that God would want without me having to tell you at every step. And that's the ultimate relationship. Because if you are so in sync, where you know what's important to me, and you could do it on your own, that says the relationship is deep, and the relationship is continuous, and the relationship is genuine. God was trying to teach the Jewish people and Moses what true love and true relationship is. Yes, the spies failed at their task, but the idea that God told Moses lives on today in every Jew, as we try to constantly yearn and do that which God would want, do the right thing, be connected to our Judaism, to our spirituality, to our godliness. And that's how we raise children. And that's what we try to do in camp with these hundreds of children, to nurture them and give them that strength to be able to do that which is right without being told. Like the greatest nachas when you have a child, and the first time you're watching from afar and they don't know you're looking, and you see them do the right thing, and you say, my child knows what to do even when I'm not watching. And that's why this celebration on Sunday with Levi becoming a rabbi was so important and valuable to Gurney and I. For 22 years, we've nurtured and loved and taught the values that we believe in to our children. 23 years, mushki. And to see our children following and yearning for the same things that we do is the greatest nachas we could get. I wish the same for each and every one of you. And I wish that our relationship with God should be the same, nurturing, loving, and caring, and doing what's right because that's what God wants, not because He tells you that. God